Hello, sir. My name is Angel, and I'm gonna talking about the Goldfinch, a painting by the Dutch artist. His name is Karel Fabricius, and it was a incredibly journey through history because from a painting he can make it to the film. It's amazing, like how one small artwork from the 17th century has left such a big impact on modern culture, and it's inspiring a Pulitzer Prize winning novel and a major film. So let's explore this connection between art and storytelling. So first thing first, I'm gonna telling you about the history. Uh, we're gonna start by the painting itself. So, the Goldfinch was painted by Carroll in 1644, a Dutch artist who studied under Rembrandt, one of the greatest painters in history. Fabricius had a unique style that was different from his teacher. His work was lighter, more delicate, and used light in ways that felt almost modern. What is fascinating about the goldfinch is that it's a small, about the size of a notebook, but it draws you in with its simplicity. The painting shows a goldfinch, a small songbird chained to each perch. At first glance, it seems straightforward, but when you look at it closer, the chain on the bird's leg make you feel this contrast between freedom and captivity. Despite being a small and somehow obscure piece of art, it has an emotional weight that stays with you. Fabricius in himself had a tragic life. He died in an explosion in Delft, an event that destroyed much of his work. Amazingly, the goldfinch survived, adding to its mythos as this delicate but resilient painting. It's kind of a metaphor for the human spirit, fragile but enduring. This historical context makes the painting even more significant, and it's easy to see how why it became the heart of a powerful story in the novel and movie. And then now I'm gonna talking deeply about Carol Fabricius. Um, So, Carol was born in 1622 in the Netherlands and it's best known as one of the most talented students of Rembrandt, one of the greatest Dutch painters of all the time. Though he was trained in the dramatic, shadow-heavy style of Rembrandt, Fabricius later developed his own distinctive approach to painting. Fabricius was fascinated by the play of light and perspective, often using brighter colors and softer contrasts, and his work was delicate touch, which you can see in the Goldfinch. His unique style set him apart from other artists of his time, showing an early transition towards the lighter techniques that would later influence Dutch artists like Vermeer. Unfortunately, Fabricius' career was tragically cut short because in 1654, at just 32 years old, he was killed in the Delft explosion, a massive gunpowder blast that destroyed a large part of the city. Much of his work was lost in the explosion, making the few remaining paintings, including the Goldfinch, even more valuable and rare. This tragic event adds to the painting mystics and significance. Although Fabricius' life and career were brief, his work left a lasting impact on Dutch art, and the Goldfinch remains one of the most beloved examples of his talent. His innovative use of light and shadow was ahead of its time and helped to pave the way for later artists who would focus on more realism and naturalism. And then the next one is the movie adaptation. So the movie called The Goldfinch, it was made in 2019, and the novel was adapted into the movie. And though it was a challenge to bring such a detailed and internal story to the screen, the filmmakers did an incredible job of capturing the mood and emotion of the book. The film starts by Oakes as a young Theo and Ansel as a Dorothea, showing how this small painting becomes a constant threat throughout his life. The film opened with a tragedy at the museum, this devastating explosion that changes everything for Theo. But from there, it follows his journey through foster homes, his friendship with a rebellious boy named Boris, and his relationship with the painting, which he hides for years. This movie really emphasized how much the painting, the goldfinch, symbolized the emotional struggles Theo faces, his grief over his mom's death, his guilt over the choices he made, and his search for meaning in a world that often feels chaotic and out of control. The movie also brings to life the art world itself, showing the beauty and fragility of these works that are so easily lost or damaged, just like the people who care for them. And this is the trailer. Okay, so I'm gonna go deeper about the dolphins by the symbolism. After we've seen a bit of the film, the Goldfinch is much more than just a work of art. It's symbol of a survival. Just like the bird in the painting is chained to its perch, Theo feels trapped by his circumstances, first by the explosion, then by the weight of his grief, and finally by the painting itself, which he can't seems to let it go. The bird's captivity can be seen as a metaphor of Theo emotional states. He's constantly looking for freedom, for a way to break free from the past. But at the same time, he's deeply connected to it. The painting becomes a reminder that, like the bird, we all carry the things that keep us tethered, whether they are memories, traumas, or even guilt. But despite of this, the bird itself is full of life and beauty. It reminds us that even in our darkest moment, there's something worth holding on to. This duality, the weight of the chain and the beauty of the bird, is what makes the goldfinch such a powerful symbol for both the character and the audience. Last but not least, it's the impact and conclusion. In conclusion, the Goldfinch has a long journey from a small painting to heart of a Pulitzer Prize-winning novel and a major film. Its story shows us how art can transcend time, becoming a symbol of something much larger than itself, whether in the novel, the film, or the painting itself. The Goldfinch reminds us of the fragile but enduring nature of the beauty and how we carry it with us through the hardest memory moments in life. The film may have faced mixed reviews, but its attempt to bring such a layered story to life is more commendable, and it gives us a visual representation of how deeply art can be affect to the human experience. Okay, that's all, everyone. Thank you for listening. Goodbye.